with day 331 of evolving into a starseed. I want to thank you all for joining me at this time. For everyone who is a subscriber, thank you for continuing to be here and subscribe and getting me closer and closer to my full on monetization of my YouTube channel. I wholeheartedly appreciate you guys being here and being present and not forgetting who the bloop you are. Okay. So in day 331, yesterday we talked about, I did it in my car, which was a refreshing standpoint to finally be able to talk without, any outside influence. And what we talked about yesterday was understanding that sometimes decisions, as much as we want to go high speed, high frequency, be on the same frequency as the sun, catch up with the sun, not lose the sun and have these gray skies and, bleak moments and things like that. Sometimes we do need to slow down. Why? Because time is just a construct anyway, right? But more importantly, because when we need to process what we're actually supposed to learn in these lessons, sometimes it's okay, or rather better, for us to slow down, right? It's hard to really learn a lesson if you're trying to drive at 20,000 miles per hour. Like when you're on the road and you're driving at 50 miles per hour, it's harder to catch a sign when the sign is saying, hey, go 20 miles per hour and you're going 85, right? Or even a sign of, say you're listening to the navigation, like your intuition. You're listening to Siri on the phone. It's like, next turn in point 0.5 miles. But you're driving so fast, you didn't hear what Siri said. And you're driving down the street. And next thing you know, because you're driving so fast, you end up missing your exit. It's harder to turn around and get to your exit when you move like that. Why is that? Because it is. So in life, if you have an exit that you're supposed to be making to a new place, to a new destination, to a new portal, to a new frequency, vibration, group of people, individuals, and you are driving so fast that you miss your turn, one, you always know on the beltway when you got to miss your turn, what you got to do. Take the next exit and then turn all the way back around just to get back to your original exit. So it's going to be more time invested. So what I'm saying here is, in the lesson that we learned yesterday, a lot of the times, hey girl, why is there a spider on your bum shoulder? I'm trying to get it off, honestly. It's always a spider on my shoulder. They always just being on my nerve, We're getting it off slowly but surely. And that's what we're talking about. Just understanding and knowing that, like, a lot of the things that we need to pay attention to, we don't pay attention to it because we're so busy trying to go fast, and we're trying to get on, oh, this is a shortcut, or this is the fastest way to get there, or this is the fastest car, this is a motorsport car, or this is a convertible car. This car is so fast, I want to drive this car, I want to be on this car because it's fast. Not realizing sometimes driving fast ain't for your particular road and the journey and the lesson that you need to learn, because you got to take the long road, because there's more that you have to offer with time lapse versus getting there quickly. See, there's some people who become celebrities when they're children. All right. They become celebrities and famous when they're young. Life moves fast the entire time. What usually happens by the time that they get into their mid 20s and early 30s and mid 40s? They start drinking, overdosing, they start looking really crazy. I'm not saying that's everyone's case, but 9 times out of 10, that's usually what happens to young celebrities, right? They start to get washed up. And then they have to like reconnect with the next upcoming act. I just saw an interview between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. It wasn't between the both of them, but in the interview they asked Cardi, they said, they asked her about her motorsport interview. And it was weird to me, right? Because, and I know I'm supposed to be going, like, trying to get into the music game, so I gotta watch what I say, right? No. I'm an honest person. Cardi simply said, I accepted to do the verse, but then she didn't finish the whole verse. So then when I got on that song and I heard what she said, I was kind of offended. Nicki said she was cool, but when I saw what she said about in her first interview after the video, instead of like just giving me my praises and pretty much just being like a yes girl, she was like, I didn't like what was said on that song. So it threw me off. a lot of the times when it comes to, what's up, Martin? When it comes to rising up in these social rooms, it requires you. No, no, I'm definitely a mom. Thanks. I just had a rough sleep last night. But a lot of times when it comes to coming up in these rooms, in these realms where you're expected to sell yourself short and say whatever just to impress the next person. Yeah, I just woke up. Sorry. I don't got no lashes on right now. My hair is not down. My dad's is all up in my energy, trying to be a protective father. I look just like my dad. So sorry if I don't look as feminine as I could and I'm giving off masculine energy. I'm a Sag. Okay. I'm 32. I enjoy being me. Not transgender, but whatever. So, when it comes to coming up in these rooms, in these realms where you're supposed to be somebody, or you're supposed to, like, kiss the toe or the foot of the person that comes before you, I actually honor and love people that are honest about who they are and don't care what they have to say when it comes to, people coming up. Because it's like, if I genuinely feel like, dang, I accepted this deal with you to do this thing and then you just embarrassed me, which is usually what it takes to become a celebrity anyway. Because, see, a celebrity is a different kind of star. When we talk about the journey to becoming a social, or rather oh my God. When we talk about the journey to becoming a starseed, that's completely different than becoming a celebrity or star. And that's because that kind of star, they can make anybody a star. They can dress you up, put some makeup on your cheeks, teach you a few dance moves, and auto-tune your voice, and boom, you got millions of dollars coming in. But to truly become a starseed, that takes real dedication, because that's a person who, despite what society wants them to do, they're still going to raise into their own frequency, into their own self, into their own understanding of themselves, right? See, for instance, me, I'm in this apartment complex and it seems like they all want people to, be orange and yellow. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really like orange, so I don't really want to be orange. So I'm more of a purple, pink kind of girl. That's where I was at in my spiritual journey long before I came here. I just happened to meet somebody who was like focusing on their black star versus their white star, but I'm more of a white pink kind of girl, personally. No disrespect to anybody else's spiritual journey, anybody else's age, or anybody else's home, or whatever else, but I'm a white pink kind of girl. Like, that's where I was at in my spiritual journey. That's who I am. That's I feel comfortable like that. Like, I don't feel like I have the weight of 200 men on my back, riding my back, when I really focus on being that girl, that version of myself. And being a starseed requires you to step into that authority, step into that version of yourself, and then never fold. I mean, of course, yes, you're not going to beat every single person at every single battle, but to still stand on business, be like, look, I get that you want me to do this, but that's not what I wanted to do. And you can have attraction to people. You can be, interested in people sensually, platonically, and relationship wise, but still holding up your standards. That's a whole nother level of staying true to yourself. And that's the difference between a starseed versus a celebrity star. Celebrity stars, a lot of them had to do a lot of different things that they wouldn't really be so proud of saying on camera just to be where they're at. See, me, when I got into any kind of room where celebrities were staring at me, it wasn't because I was like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to get in here. My last relationship might equate to what it seems like. Okay, she did whatever to get into our room. It's like, no, I literally just thought I was trying to be nice to a person who seemed like they had a lot of mental issues, and they had a lot of mommy and daddy issues, and they had a lot of, like, just familial, and that's usually who they target to raise them into the spotlight. You see, they'll go to people like that and they'll raise them. I have to respect the fact that you're raising a young black male in such a cruel world, teaching him well. I'm trying my best. But in those realms, like in that world of being celebrity, like they try their, like, they sink their teeth into the people who don't have happy and strong homes. Most people who are celebrities, you don't usually see them having, like, the best household. He's asleep right now. I'd let him leave, but he's asleep. So again, when it comes to getting into these rooms with these people, to be a celebrity star is completely different than being a esoteric star or a star seed. So I just want to highlight that as well. A lot of people who are celebrities are star seeds, but they get to that part of their journey after realizing on their journey of becoming a celebrity, they're like, oh my God, this is not everything. This is not all of it. They start to realize, like, hold on, wait a minute, I'm being taken advantage of. Then they go on a journey to get in tune with themselves, and next thing you know, they're now becoming star seeds at that level. Give him a sense of pride, make it easier, let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Oh no, of course. Like my son, that's one thing I also say. Like when my son plays a video game and he plays Fortnite, I let them be the map of what's going on in my life. Like, oh shoot, they're coming, skybox. Because like literally whatever they're going through digitally is literally what we're going through physically. Because their world, they're really already in the astrals. So y'all get what I'm saying when it comes to the difference between being a star seed and a celebrity seed, a celebrity star. So I guess what I want to highlight now is when you have to finally decide which journey to take in life, right? Whether you're going to focus more on being a celebrity and being the tea, being, oh, the tea is piping hot and it's all about me. I'm the bee's knees. I'm the one that they're talking about. Or as Cardi says in her last album, am I the drama? It's a hard decision. Oh, I don't think I want to wear lashes today, actually. I kind of think I'm just going to not do that today. I don't feel like it. But when you get to that point where you have to decide, because you don't usually have to decide, but most people, how do I put this? There are several different types of celebrities, and the average celebrity, because they're celebrities that I met, right, or they're considered to be celebrities, and they got to be who they are based on them being more like their spiritual selves. Like I said, their starseed self. Like they did breath work, they did meditation, so they're known for that. Versus the other ones who are known for, hey, you know that she got a train ran on her. I heard that twat was amazing. Things of I gotta wipe this off my face. I'll be right back, y'all. Hold on. Nah, I don't feel like wearing no lashes today. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm going to the gym, so I don't feel like it. Okay. I decided long ago to never walk in anyone's shadow. If I failed, I succeeded. At least I lived as I believed. Right, and that's basically what I'm getting at. Being a starseed, you're more willing to walk in your own light. Even if people call you crazy, because I know the person the boo, whatever person that came in here, oh, what's up, crazy lady? I'd rather you think I'm crazy and psychotic or whatever else you want to say under the sun than me to conform to what you believe and do exactly as you say, and then I still don't get my way. I still don't get what I want. I still don't get anything out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, again, my last relationship, which I ain't gonna hold y'all, I'm still connected to that person, but I feel like in all relationships you stay connected, like soul ties are eternal. But it's like I had to realize like, okay, is this gonna be the defining point of my personality, or is this just a part of me learning more about myself? And really start to think about like, hold on. So what am I going to do with it when it comes to my body, when it comes to my mind? Like, where am I plugging myself in at? Because I don't really know anybody in my neighborhood. That's the last person I was locked in with. And my family, a lot of the times, it always seems like they just pushing me down to make themselves look better. Like, it's like, oh, okay, well, I got a master's degree, so I get to lead the pack, and you got to be back here in the shadows. But it's like, if you keep me back here in the shadows, how will I ever get the chance to excel to my highest potential? If I keep on making sure I feed you energy and treat you like my child, and you damn near 30 years old too, how will I ever grow to be who I'm supposed to be? Like, I've been outside paying bills on my own multiple occasions, 5, 6, 7 years. It's time for y'all to start, wondering about getting y'all's other source of energy that isn't the family. Like, as men, and y'all gotta go out and hunt, and y'all gotta go find a woman that y'all can go, be on a prowl with. Y'all can't be in here relying on me and mommy and sister and grandma to keep on keeping y'all, of course, we're points of reference to come back to, but, you know, so on the Starseed journey, a lot of things come with like breaking yourself down and realizing, like, hold on, I thought that I was going to be da 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 da. Then you realize that's not really what it is. And then it's like, okay, well, now I got to go find myself. And a lot of people don't want to do that part of the journey where you define yourself and then you move from that new version of yourself that you discovered. Like when it came to, like I said, Cardi and Nicki's situation, it's like they want you to sit there and talk about, yeah, my neck, my pussy juicy, my ass fat, and all these niggas want me because I got big racks. Like they don't want you talking about some. I was someone elevating through life's iniquities. I know I'm crazy sometimes, but I got shit with me. Like the closest they got to that was Doechii, Denial's a River. Her talking about anxiety. But she's in the song talking about, I like money, I like drugs, I like this. And it's like, they want us to look like druggy hoe bitches. They don't want us to look like people who've been meditating and getting our mind right. So when it comes to being a celebrity versus being a star seed, a lot of celebrities who are star seeds, because Cardi is one who made it through and still was herself, right? She will make them songs, but when their daughters come inside them rooms, they turn off that music. You know what I'm saying? They, and it sucks that, yes, they're giving it to our children just so they can get paid, but in their own households, they don't even listen to their music. So basically, follow what she do, not what she say. Because even Meek Mill came out and said they pay us more to make songs that degrade ourselves. They pay us more to make songs to keep y'all underneath an illusion and use certain frequencies. So when it comes to me now making music and wanting to get into those rooms, it's difficult for me because they already know what I'm coming with. Because at the end of the day, we all here, we all, in the same energy, we all in the same spectrum. So they already watching how I move and what I say and what I do on all realms. Like I'm seeing these celebrities in my dreams when I go to sleep at night. They trying to see how I'm moving when I'm asleep. Am I really connected to my soul? Do I really have control of my soul? Like, can they just get it from me in a dream? Can they do sex magic on me in a dream and get me to pretty much just say yes to anything they want me to do in a dream? Like, this stuff goes way deeper than people think it is. And then you say, oh, it's just games. It's just fun. No, it's not. People get wrapped up in stuff where they have to do certain things for a certain amount of time or else. Now, luckily, people like Tina Turner, they get out of it. They go start doing a Nam Yo Ho Ring Kyo. They start doing all that stuff, and they just kind of duck off into their own space. But the average person who's in the limelight, they're still doing a lot of crazy stuff that they don't really want to do on the inside of their bodies. So when it comes to the difference between when it comes to the difference between being a star seed and a celebrity star, you have to really decide, am I here to make an impact or am I here to make a check? Now you can make a check, which will make an impact on your own family behind the scenes if you play your cards right. You just gonna have to backtrack a lot of things you did after the journey, or come out and speak about it or speak against it later on after the journey is over with. Like a lot of people will have to now, okay, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I just like didn't want to do that, but I had to make that shmoney. So I did what I had to do, and now my family gonna be straight. So either way, I'm still proud of what I did, regardless, because some people gotta make sacrifices. And then in other spaces, in other places, other people will be able to say, I kept my foot forward, I kept my head on straight, and I just didn't allow certain things. And other people will say, when I was a kid, I got taken advantage of and got put into the limelight, and I didn't know no better. Which will have some people, open to things and feelings and situations and sexual endeavors that they never thought that they would even take interest in. But based on things that was done to them when they didn't have anybody to really protect them, they're now open to certain stuff. That's why I always keep my eye on my son. I'm like, hold on, what's going on in my son's house? Like, what's... But my mom and my siblings and my family, they thought that I was too protective over my son. So, they took my son away from me for a whole entire year and a half. Well, they pretty much conditioned him the way that they wanted him to socialize with the world. Like, you socialize like this because this is what we think is right. And I never really liked doing that. Once I finally realized, like, I didn't have to give people access to my sacral chakra, my root chakra, and it was my job to protect those parts of my body, because that's what you do. You protect your energy so that you can sustain a certain frequency, and you're not being used up. Let's go back to some of the comments. Hey, it's me again. You show me your song. Hey, Ibrahim, how are you? I decided, okay, we read that. Now, those are nice lashes. Why do some women wear lashes that look like bristles of corn brooms and spray painted black glued to their eyelids? Because again, modern world wants people to believe that that's sexy. That the way that we look naturally is weird, so that we just stop loving ourselves. So when women actually are natural, it's literally an attack on people who just want to be natural, and just like when I wear my hair in a natural afro and I have nothing else going on, they don't want that to be beautiful. They want it to only be beautiful if you have titties this big, boobs this big, or booty this big, stomach this flat, this many tattoos, this many piercings. A lot of these things did come from spiritual tribal things, because like having tattoos and having piercings was tribal and spiritual for sure. It helped open up spiritual gateways and pressure points on the body to help you be able to, like, protect yourself. But you know that's why women wear lashes like that, because modern media wants us to run away from what naturally makes us beautiful, so that natural beauties are no longer seen as the eye's candy. I want to innovate mathematics and interested in number theory. I don't care about fame, but I understand the distinction you're making. Boo Bear, don't call me that, please. Your body looks nice, thanks. You are crazy, but I'm not saying it to gaslight you. I'm just telling you my perception honestly. I think you're a little crazy. Okay. I think it comes from you being in fight or flight state, which makes you overly defensive sometimes. This causes paranoia. That's in your mindset. But see, then you'll come with that's narcissistic gaslighting right there. Because then you'll come and say those things, but then say I love you right after. Right? The part that a lot of people aren't really honoring, I think that I'm looking to say, the part of life that people are not honoring is that as much as we want to sit here and gaslight each other into these ideas like, okay, I'm crazy, right? Or I'm in fight or flight. That's your perception based on what you allow in your body. If you want people to have access to your private parts, because they're called private parts for a reason, right? If you want people to have access to your private parts all the time, and you're just a public entity, and you're just like pretty much an open hot spot for everybody to just tap into whenever they feel like it, that's how you want to live your life. Now, give or take, that's what the job of celebrity is. Now, celebrity is making a sacrifice of self to be a public hotspot. Because when you can't find, say you can't find somebody in your family, like for me, when I was homeless, it was nobody in my family I could talk to. I could go into any place and go find a podcast and listen to Cardi B talk. I could go any place on a podcast and listen to Nicki Minaj talk. I could go anywhere on YouTube on the internet and find these people that, you know, remind me of my story, or they tell their struggle story, or Alicia Keys or something like that. They'll tell me their struggle story and I'll be able to like find some kind of place of home with them, right? I'll find a place of comfort with these people. So a celebrity does actually have the position of, in one perspective, because again, perspective, right? Look like a savior, because it's like, okay, well, you gave up your privacy in order to be a staple in a community that everybody could go to in order to find some comfort, because it is crazy out here, because people are going through near death experiences, people are having spiritual awakenings, people are having narcoleptic collapses, like realizing, oh shit, my ego really ain't what I thought it was, I'm really not who I think I am, this person is more powerful than me, no, I can't destroy this person, no, I can't do a spell on this person and kill them, I'm not the powerful warlock I thought I was. Stuff like that is going on. People, just regular people, I'm homeless, I'm hungry, I need a place, a person I can think about that feels safe for me to be in their energy, so that while I'm out here on these streets and I'm homeless and I'm sleeping on the side of the curb, I could think about this person so I don't feel like I'm outside. At least I could be inside of their space. I might not be able, I might not be welcome in their actual home, but at least I'm in their space, right? So from one perspective, celebrities can be looked at as saviors because they offer themselves up in that space. They get contracted out to pretty much be that open space for anybody that needs a space to stay. On the other perspective, they're paid to give us really rancid content, but if you don't have the perspective that a person like me has, then you only are paying attention to them for the rancid content. So you're being convinced and controlled and mind swept into being on that tier of them, right? So now you stuck on that version of, oh, look at, oh, I need to get lip injections. I'm not beautiful. I need to get my titties done. I need to get a BBL. I need lipo. As soon as I have a baby, I gotta hop into the gym, or else everybody gonna talk about me, because celebrities go through that. Just because they're celebrities and they've been celebrities for a long time don't mean that they don't have feelings, and they don't also feel like when people could. They both Nicki and Cardi said in those interviews, my feelings was hurt. Both women admitted to their feelings being hurt by what the other woman did. Yet the media wants them beefing, but really, they really wish that they could just be able to go behind the scenes and just talk to each other and be like, "What's up, girl? Nothing. How the kids doing? Good. How's King doing? Oh, he's good. He's good. Papa Bear's doing good. Thank you for asking." And maybe they really actually have a relationship like that, and we just don't know it because they're celebrities. They're on a stage. We're just watching, right? But in a spiritual context, they are giving up their privacy to give us a space and some kind of solidarity to lock in with when we don't have anything else guiding us or holding our hands. Okay? But when you're not conscious enough to understand that aspect of the job that they do, you're only going to absorb the egotistical portion of what they exude, which is to do your body up wrong ways just so you can fit in with everybody else because you just don't feel like you're good enough. Like when somebody came in here and said, "Are you some kind of transgender?" I know that I have stretch marks from having a boy. You know, I know my son's 13 years old. I know I go to the gym. I might have some masculine traits right now because my hair is not down, and I had a long night last night, and a lot of stuff is going on in my life. And I just woke up to. I didn't want to put makeup on today. I didn't want to wear my hair down today. So I might look more masculine today. So what? I'm the version of a person that comes on here as my raw self, and it's like, look, if people don't like what you got going on, forget them. Did you ignore me? But I love black women with afros and big hoop earrings. I do love you. That's why I'm being honest with you. Because, like, you're not answering the question. What's the question? The way you go off sometimes, I think you're in a lot of pain, but you take this observation as an attack. Have you been to a psychologist or psychiatrist? I'm not in a lot of pain. I carry the pain of a lot of other people. See, I've gotten to a point where I'm comfortable with myself and I just duck off. But unfortunately, I live underneath a Hispanic family. The lady, she looking at my schedule. As soon as I move something, she thumping on the ceiling. So I'm just like, dog, what the fuck? As soon as I want quiet, they get loud. As soon as if they don't have access to my womb and my space is not open, my sacral chakra is not open for them, she feeling like I'm attacking her womb. And it's like, no, I just don't want you connected to my womb right now because I don't really like your period cycle. And you have a man in there that I don't want to deal with. And just like the guy that be coming over here, you don't necessarily like to deal with. And I just don't want to be connected on that level. That's not pain. That's just my reality that I live in right now. That's not pain. And that's not problematic. That's just me wanting privacy, but realizing I live in an apartment. So we are a part of each other's lives, whether we like it or not. Her culture is different than mine. My culture is different than hers, but we still got to live next to each other until further notice. Her thing is she was, like myself, comfortable in her own space because nobody lived underneath her for however long this unit was empty. I also was comfortable living outside, being homeless for 9 months. So I didn't have nobody living over top of me, especially. So we both are going through the same thing at the same time. Being around somebody that's completely culturally different than us, having our personal space that we were used to invaded, and now we got to deal with each other, whether we like it or not. So if I'm in here getting my freak on and she can hear, and she somehow accidentally gets aroused because she can hear the noises, and her spirit and her energy gets involved in what we're doing, and she's connected, it's something we can't control. That's not pain, but it's like at the same time she don't really want to be involved in my sex life because she don't know what the hell me and that boy going through. So she will attack, thinking that she's doing the right thing, but it's like you're attacking yourself and my son. So that doesn't make sense because unless you know how to cut a soul tie, to attack a person and think that they're attacking you is just dumb. Like, I'm not attacking nobody. If I'm sitting here in my house minding my business, I'm not doing nothing. And vice versa. Me thinking she's attacking me, she might not be attacking me. She might have something on top of her that's attacking her, and because I'm in her energy, I feel the attack. So instead of protecting her, my silly ass might try to smack her in the head, not realizing, no, it's just something over top of her that's bothering both of us. So, contrary to what you may believe about me, again, all about perspective and perception. You might think that I'm crazy or psychiatric or need psychiatric help. She might even think that. Even the lady, the maintenance lady was like, "Oh, ella es muy loco." She was talking outside, talking about some lady was crazy. I'm like, is she talking about me or the lady upstairs? I said, who, her? And the lady started shaking her head like, yes. Like basically saying the lady upstairs was crazy as well. So I don't know. Maybe she also has this thing where she's probably just like me, but just don't know how to deal with it. Because when she kept stomping on my head the other day, I'm like, girl, I went and knocked up on her door. She ain't answered the door. I'm like, what the fuck? So all that stomping and all that craziness you're doing. But if I come to your front doorstep to ask you, why are you stomping on my goddamn head? You're not going to answer the door? That's weird. Don't be bucking with me if you don't want me to come to your door and ask you what the hell is the problem. Cause I don't got no problem with nobody. You understand? I don't do beef. I don't do problems. I got celebrities sitting here throwing shots at me and I ain't even famous yet. I don't got time for nobody's beef. What's the problem? How do we fix it? Like, okay, how do we copaesthetically, cohesively move forward? Because you stomping on my head in the middle of the morning, in the middle of the night, and all this stuff, trying to make your way be the way, knowing that I live here and I pay bills to be here, it's not gonna work like that for either one of us. So what we gonna do to move forward? Because yeah, no. You deal with it by getting help. Getting help is not that. Okay, so let me define to you what getting help is, since you think you know everything. Me getting help would be me talking to a psychiatrist, right? And they would listen to me tell them all these things. And they said, would you ever, well, what do you think is the easiest point of contact between you all? What do you both have in common? We're both women. Well, yes. And what do women like? Arousal, attraction. Yes. That divine feminine energy. Yes. Exude it, baby. That's the key. Just be in that divine flow with her. So basically, make her my girlfriend. Basically, let's be girlfriends and let's just bump coochies to make things easier for everybody. Yes, that's exactly what you do. But then when I want my privacy and I'm outside and I'm minding my business, That's not what therapists do, by the way. Actually, yes, it is. I've been to a therapist before. All they do is connect to you in your sacral chakra, and they just nurture you like a mother would and give you that nurturing feeling. They try to tell you to align with your sacral chakra, because the society wants us in our sacral chakra and our root chakra. Society doesn't necessarily want us in our crown chakra, right? Society wants us here so that we're just focused on here and we just give this energy away. They let you talk, but I've already been to a therapist, psychiatrist. They just gonna tell you the easiest point of connection is to be connected in that area with anybody. They're not gonna tell you yes. And if you feel like she's not seeing you because she's not allowing you to be in your third eye energy and be your divine self, then you should definitely get Orisha to come in and pray and go to church and get community. And yes, you'll be able to overcome that, because we live in the same apartment. We have to for the next year. So it doesn't matter who I call. Ghostbusters, the gangs of Bloods and Crips, the whole entire fucking cartel. It doesn't matter who I call. At the end of the day, me and her got to sleep next to each other in the same house. That's what y'all see. Y'all's minds are this small that y'all don't realize. It doesn't matter if we call 1,000,000 people. At the end of the day, they're going to tell us to find a way to connect. And the easiest point of connect is there. Y'all really don't realize that I've already surpassed that whole entire level of spirituality. Talking to somebody else and getting them to ask me questions. Well, what about her presence is triggering to you? Is it the fact that she's over top of you? Have you never had a person over top of you? No, the issue is that when I leave out of being underneath her, I feel drained. It's like she'll do what she's doing and suck up the energy and suck up the volume and suck up the vibes. And then I just feel drained as fuck being in her presence. But when I want to feel empowered and energized, she starts stomping on my head. So it's like a one-way relationship. I'm not tripped. Why are y'all thinking that I'm tripped? I think what you guys don't understand is I've already surpassed, again, like I mentioned before, that level. What's up, Derek? I've already surpassed the level of trying to figure out what's going on in the world. I get how energy works. You either give your energy away or you receive energy. There's no in between. You're either giving it or getting it. There's no neutral point. In order to get it, you got to be doing something physical to get it. That's just point blank, period. There's no in between. You're either receiving, it's either kinetic or potential energy. It's either moving or it's not. When you connect to people and you move into an apartment with people, you connect through your chakra system. It's how all relationships in life work. So either we become two fully aligned individuals or we avoid alignment. If I knock on her door and she don't answer the phone, what that mean? She don't want to have the conversation. I live in America, which is completely against connection and legitimacy and authenticity anyway, unless you're outside being a damn prostitute for the country. They don't allow you to just be outside enjoying your freedom. Like, as soon as you get freedom, it's like, oh, police. Why are you so tall? Level 6 only. Level 6 only. We don't go to the infinite when you're down here. Get down. Maybe it means she's not home, not necessarily avoiding conversation. No, she was just stomping on my head. Like literally, it went from boom, 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 boom. I'm like, all right, you keep stomping on my head. I came up to the front door. Are you okay? Like, why are you stomping on my head? She didn't answer the door. It's like, you so bold to do these crazy things above me and bully me and then put this pyramid up and try to be over top of me on my third eye and all this other stuff. But it's like, it's crazy to me because it's like, you want to do all of that. But then when it comes down to, okay, accountability, why did you do that? Why do you stomp on my head so much? What's the problem? Do you not like me? Do you not like black people? Like, what is it going on? What's going on? Do you not like how connected we are? Are you afraid of connection? But then when the maintenance lady was like, no, she's just a little crazy. I was like, oh, she just like me. She don't really like people being in her space, but energy travels through walls. Energy travels through the floor. You can't, as much as you want to put up an energetic, say, an energetic block around your house. This is the reason why Cardi B's album was named Invasion of Privacy. Because once you get to a certain level of consciousness, there's no more such thing as privacy, even in your own home, especially when you live in an apartment. You either move onto the countryside and move onto an acre of land and be away from nobody, but then understand there will be airplanes flying over your house every 5 minutes and helicopters. Because you had to buy the land and get permission to be there so people know you're there. So it's no privacy still. So there's no way to fully claim privacy, especially in an apartment. So what I'm basically getting across at this point is, and this goes towards Cardi B and Nicki Minaj's conversation. A lot of the times between two women, a black woman and a Hispanic woman, we get pinned against each other. We get put in situations just to see what the hell we want to do. See if we're going to make the battle about racism. See if we're going to make it about our men, about our money, the way we move. Because in America, they want all the races at each other's neck. They don't want everybody to be in solidarity. Because, of course, everybody has different cultures. And it's hard to really conform from your culture to somebody else's culture, right? So they want culture battles. But we all don't realize everybody has their own culture, but all the cultures are saying the same thing, just in a different way. So you say, oh, I have to go talk to my Orisha, but then somebody else will say, oh, I need to go talk to my Baba. Or then you'll say, I need to go talk to the priest. And somebody else will say, I need to go talk to my sister, or I need to talk to my Igwe or something like that. Everybody's going to say something different. Everybody's going to say something different, but we're all saying the same thing. Right? So like now that I've kind of risen up, right, I feel like I'm in her house. So like now I can hear her water running. I can hear her talking in Spanish to her husband. It was completely silent this morning, but as soon as my third eye connected to her third eye, now I can hear everything going on in her house. So it doesn't just sound like stomping. Now it sounds like I'm literally in the house with her. I hear her husband talking. I hear her TV now. It seems more practical now that our third eyes are aligned. Like we have the same vision, right? But before, when I was like just in my space and living underneath her, every 5 seconds when I would try to raise up, doom, 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 she just starts stomping. Stuff would just start falling and just like boom. I'm like, either my telekinetic powers was really like, because people like, you do know that. I've had people tell me, you do know you have telekinetic powers, right? Like you be making shit move with your mind, just like you don't even realize it. Like your mind really be making stuff move. Like you do know that about yourself, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? But I'm getting more and more closer to that understanding now that I've dated someone who I've seen actually do it with my own two eyes right in front of me. And now we're fusing our DNA, and I'm understanding what's going on for my elevation process. That there are telekinetic powers that I do have that I could tap into more. Not just my psychic abilities to be able to tell the future, because he also knows the future. He also will tell me something about the future. He also will tell me about what's going to happen tomorrow. We literally have the exact same capabilities and powers, which is why we can't stand each other, because it's really hard to look in the mirror at yourself. Somebody that's just as strong-willed as you, just as smart as you, just as able-bodied as you to do certain stuff. It's hard to look at somebody that's your exact replica and not be triggered, because it's humbling yet exciting to look at you outside of you and be like, damn, so I'm not the only one. But at the same time, well, I'm special too, though, right? Like, it's a very humbling but triggering experience. That's why a lot of people aren't able to fall in love, true love, because true love is usually with yourself. And then you get a version of that outside of you. And then you have to look at the ugly parts of yourself, like, dang, I am kind of like a flirt too. I do sometimes leak into people's spaces without thinking about the spiritual hygiene, the social hygiene. I don't have schizophrenia. I did date someone with schizophrenia, and I was nothing like them. Like, they creeped me the fuck out, actually. We went to high school together and everything, but when it got to that point, I'm just like, start burning up feathers online and showing that magic and that alchemy. I'm like, okay, their face started looking a little, like, he started getting crazy eyes like this all the time. Like, he would always talk like this. I'm like, can you relax? Like, but now that I understand what a man has to go through in this world and what a man carries on his shoulders and on his back so that the woman feels safe, and now having to experience that being with someone who's so transparent that even though they are masculine energy, I now feel everything that they feel. As soon as I think about them, I'm like, oh, that's why men be so stressed out and angry. And they want us women to just be like, oh, yeah, my man has everything under control. Like, he has everything under control. And you just be there just so la, 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 la. But it's like you need other women to support you in that energy. You can't just be that. If I'm a female and I don't have a sister circle, I can't be that version of myself. Then I could tell you that you don't have to be here and listen, or you could just learn to be creeped out. But I don't have a sister circle. Like, it's women that I know of that, you know, girl, what the fuck? Trying to send some evil out over here. If you don't get the fuck out of my face. Like, the fuck? So even when you see, I just tried to connect and align spiritually with this woman. And like I said, I heard everything in her house as if it was my house, and it seemed more normal. But her not allowing or understanding that point of connection with somebody else, she starts to evil eye me instead of understanding that we're connecting. Because she doesn't want to be connected, but she's still connected because we live in the same building. It's like she only wants to be connected if she can stand on top of my shoulders. She doesn't want to be connected face to face, eye to eye. She thinks that she's above me, and really she's not. She's just dancing on top of her husband's dick. Because if she was really above me when I came to her front door, she would have answered it and been able to look at me face to face. And I've been like, so why do you keep stomping on the floor? Why do you keep being weird and rude? Like, I know that you're probably not used to it. Like, when was the last time you had someone live underneath you? I don't know how long that's been, but I too was homeless and didn't have no one around me, and I didn't have to like be accountable or, you know, compassionate towards anybody else. But that's not the reality we live in anymore. So I'm gonna need you to stop stomping on the floor and acting crazy. Cause you got me fucked up. I will come up here and I will call the police and call the disturbance, and I will come up here and keep knocking on your door every time you stomp on my floor. You keep acting crazy, I'm gonna keep coming up here knocking on your front door. Stop doing that. Because if you lived down there, you wouldn't want me stomping on your head. If you lived in my apartment and I was doing what you're doing to me, you would feel some kind of way. That's not schizophrenia. I'm just able to really be real. It's a lot of people who are not ready to be real. They're like, oh, well, you just got to accept you live underneath her, and that's just how it goes. That's just what it is. No, it's not. Because you don't have to stomp on the floor every time somebody feels energetically different than what you are comfortable with. That's not your obligation in the world. Just because somebody underneath me feels like they want to I don't know, rise up and meditate. I don't have the right to sit here and be like, oh, I'm going to do root work on you and stomp on the ceiling and make your shoulders hurt. Like, I don't have no right to do that to that person at all. That's actually really wrong. That's schizophrenic to think that you're allowed to do that to somebody just because they live beneath you. That's really wrong. Because if I lived, like, again, if she lived in my apartment, I lived in hers, and I was like, boom, 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 boom. Every 5 seconds, like, boom. Following her around the apartment, trying to be connected to her crown chakra and be on top of her head the whole entire time and try to force her to be in my energy the way I want her to be, like, she would look at me like, what's wrong with this crazy lady? Why is she doing this? She would feel like I'm bothering her. So it's like, in order for you to really get what's going on here, like, I think we're all supposed to be learning in this lesson of being around each other. And the reason that I finally came at this point is to get people to learn to connect to their heart. Like, okay, we're here at the heart chakra. That's the neutral point where everybody's supposed to be at. But when COVID happened, they blocked us off from our heart because our heart frequency goes out 6 feet around us, 6 feet in front of us, and 6 feet behind us. So when COVID came around, oh yeah, I pay attention. I've been doing my workouts. But when COVID came around, it kept us more than 6 feet apart. So we were forced to stay in the house and really connect to our neighbors on a deeper level because we didn't have society, really connecting in towards us. So it gave us a sense of comfort at home. But then when we went out into the real world again, start making people feel uneasy because it's like, oh my God, what is this? Because people got more connected to their neighborhood energy and they were bringing their neighborhood energy to work. So then people were starting to feel like out of place because most people were still more focused on their connections at work than their connections at home. I'm not. There's plenty of people that agree with me. It's just we live in different spaces and places. They've spread us out far and thin. Where is my water bottle? I'm supposed to be taking my capsules. See, what most people don't realize is you have eyeballs all around your head. You have your Bindu chakra, you have your crown chakra, you have your casual chakra. You also have a chakra that's right here, your thymus, right? And the thymus and the casual chakra are connected, right? Like that. And they have to be open so that you can have a clear posture. Thymus and chakra are casual chakra, right? Then your Bindu chakra is connected to your 7th eye. That creates balance in the body because it's a crisscross axis. They crisscross at your pineal gland, which is connected to the front of your face right here, your 3rd eye, and the other part of your 3rd eye in the back of your head. That's how you really balance your head, and you understand your 9 and your 10 go straight through your head. But also where telekinesis and being able to hear clairvoyantly come in at. And that's how you balance your head. And most people don't appreciate and honor that. They just automatically think connecting is, oh, you're trying to be, and I got to do a 3rd eye attack against you, and now we're fighting. And it's like, no, I'm trying to find a way to connect to you so that we can live in the same space. Because at the end of the day, you're a woman, I'm a woman, and we got women in the building that's outside. It's not just us. This lady behind me that got a husband with some kids. This lady across the hallway that got 4 kids. Somebody across the hall, they package been outside on their porch for like a damn week. I'm like, dude, anybody even live there? Is it empty? Are they on vacation? What the hell going on over there? But a distraction from my own business, right? But most people are thinking about everything else outside of that bubble in their head, and I'm not. I'm not a schizophrenic. I'm just very aware that to connect to people, you got to know those points in the brain where these are points to connect to really stabilize your mind. in alignment with the city around you and the place around you, but people will think you're trying to do spell work and root work on them. It's like, no, scientifically and mathematically, that's kind of how we connect. That's the spirit of my mind. Okay, now that we got to that point, then the first thing they think is, oh, send a wheel. Like, I just felt, as soon as I thought about the energy upstairs, it's like something just came down the side of my face like this, like, ugh. It's like, ew, like, that's so unclear. Like, that mindset that's up there is unclear, and she needs to talk to somebody to get that cleaned up. It might have been clean before I came here. It might have been the person that I talked to. He might have did something. I don't know. Like I said, I've seen him play around with magic. Schizophrenic, you can't even spell right, child. Schizophrenic people have different personalities too. I've had schizophrenic friends, and you talk the same way about imagining things. Well, if you got a lot of schizophrenic friends and you keep attracting schizophrenic people, what you think that mean about you? Why are you around so many schizophrenic people and you the only one that's not schizophrenic? Or maybe schizophrenia is just actually conscious people who've been clinically diagnosed with something to make them seem weird, but really they're actually the key to your freedom. But you can't see that because you're too focused on them being the schizo. You're too focused on the idea that they might be schizophrenic or crazy versus understanding. Like right now, I feel the lady, like she doing something in the closet and she's looking at me. It's like now I feel the side of my brain all feeling all weird and triggered and feel like something trying to hook into the side of my head. Like we just had a clear mind space where we cleared all that out, did the work, cleared it out, made the mind nice and comfortable, got aligned, all the points on the face. And people still want to go ahead and start pulling all these other nerve point root work things out of the ass. Like, ugh. It gets so effective, I think. I hope you seek help before it gets worse. Okay. Most of what you're saying is in your mind only. Have you considered you're mistaken? I love your background. I have the same on my balcony door. Do you think 2 + 2 = 4? No, 2 + 2 = 6. Because 2 families come together and can make their children. So 2, because 1 + 1 = 3. 1 man plus 1 woman equals a family of 3. So 2 + 2 = 6. It's pretty. I love it where you get that from. I got this off of Amazon. I have the same thing that you do. Awesome. I subscribed I liked, can you say my name, Lily? Sorry, my name is Lily. Hi, Lily. Thank you for subscribing. Ooh, I answered that question already. But it just depends on what version of math you're talking about. Because some people are talking about math for just the sake of geometry, then other people are looking at the arcway. Like they're looking at their arches, like, okay, arch number 1, arch number 2, arch number 3, arch number 4, arch number 5, okay. Then realigning themselves appropriately with the people around them. Because sometimes people will connect you to somebody and bind you upside down. Like people do baneful magic where they'll connect 2 people's bodies, but they'll connect them upside down. Do you understand that there's magic out here that people actually practice? Like they will tie you to somebody, but they'll put you upside down and put the other person right side up. So you cleaning off your crown chakra, but you're feeling things moving around in your anus area because someone binded you and this person, but they binded y'all upside down. That's not schizophrenia. You got to realize there's people out here who are consciously aware, and the government pays people to attack people like that on purpose with magic by doing bad stuff, and they get paid to do it. They get paid to monitor people and do stuff like that. Y'all keep calling people crazy and schizophrenic, not realizing it's literally people who are being paid to watch people. They made it their personal business to start watching certain people. Some people personal, some people professional. 1 + 1 = 3. I just told you, because everybody knows 1 man plus 1 woman equals a family of 3. They have a child together. That's sacred esoteric math. Anyway, the point that I'm making is this: you're gonna either give people the ability to show you that they're a star seed, a real star seed, or you're gonna continue to keep looking at people who are celebrity seeds, celebrity stars, who are being paid to literally give you, and they're even admitting to it, they're getting paid to give you watered down bad information that makes you think, A, you're not important, B, it's okay to be a hoe, it's okay to do things, but the same things that they're getting paid to put in front of your face, they don't even put in their own households. So before you sit here and honor and praise to them, or that version of them, because see, getting to know them through interviews and their works of acts and art and stuff like that is completely different, right? When you get to know a person off the screen, it's completely different than who they are on the screen. And I've learned that by even, like I said, dating a person who has a celebrity, I guess, presence to a degree. Where it's like, you're not the same person off the screen that you are behind the screen. And I let that person take down their guard, but then the person, started feeling a certain kind of way and just started freaking out and getting into their schizophrenic attack. And I'm just like, dude, just relax. Let me finish cutting these potatoes and, I'll take you home. Like, just relax. And it turned into a whole entire day throwing my food on the floor, acting crazy. So to believe that I'm schizophrenic and I didn't react to that person by charging at them, trying to beat them up or stabbing them, I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, stop it. Stop doing what you're doing. But people around me, they feel like, oh, we don't like this person because he did this to you this one time, and we got to see this version of him. We didn't get to see all the versions of him, and we don't like what he does with this, this, and this, and this. So we're going to do A, B, and C, X, Y, Z to disempower him. And he's feeling like, I'm being attacked in your household. I'm not comfortable. Same way I feel attacked in his household. I'm not comfortable. But until two grown people decide to move away from their families and not give a damn what their families have to say about their relationship and move on, which is hard for him to do because he's still young. He's like, well, you're 32. You're just trying to control me. Like, no, I'm really trying to help you get out of that bubble that you're in. You don't realize you're being controlled already. You think you're in control, but you're really not. If you knew how much control people had over top of you, you would stop doing that. And I know that there's people who are over top of me that want to have control over me. As my grandmother always said, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be in control of you. Because you have to live in somebody's mind construct in order to be an existing human being, especially if you don't work for a company or corporation. There has to be somebody dedicated to allowing you to live in their brain, in their consciousness, because every observer needs to be observed, and every person who observes needs something to observe in order for them to actually exist, which is why the question of, if a tree falls in the woods, does it actually make a sound? That's where that question comes from. So whether you believe people are really smart or really dumb is up to you, but there are really, really smart people around you. You just don't realize it, because to be smart in America makes you a target. To actually have a genuine, authentic light about yourself makes you a target. That's why people purposely dumb themselves down. So even me coming on the internet, this is dangerous, because people like me, y'all see it all the time. Oh, so and so was on the news and they said this thing and they got canceled. It's dangerous to be able to tell people the truth. You'll hear on the radio, what's up? This is Kathy Hughes. We are just thankful for another time to breathe again, and thankful for breath. Like, not, we're just thankful that the wars are stopping and that we can finally end childhood hunger. Do you know, to end hunger, it only costs like $20 million to end it for good? To end homelessness costs like $70 million. Do you know we sent over $100 million to another country for war? So that should just let you know the principalities of the country that we live in before you call me a schizophrenic. The country that tells you to call a person like me a schizo would rather pay another country $120 million versus end hunger and homelessness in its own four walls. So again, when it comes to these stars that we're raising up and praising, there's nothing wrong with them, because behind closed doors, they probably are really, really, really good people. But based on how you perceive them, they're being paid to be that person. And Cardi B was always wild and always like on, had everything to say under the sun and didn't care who was watching. But even you seen the interviews where she just will get stuck, and they like the something, and she like snap it. Like they tried to hypnotize her, or probably did hypnotize her to make her more marketable. There's somebody who's her handler who's watching her, making sure she is doing the right thing. That's why my ex acted the way he acted. He's like, you should let me be your manager. I looked at him, I was like, and every time I get away, despite what I might believe, he'll still come back. He'll still come back. He will still come back. Call the police on him, I go to jail. That's not me being a schizophrenic. That's me paying attention. So understand that when it comes to fame, there's a lot of sacrifices that people make to be famous. To make that kind of money, there's a lot of sacrifices that come with that. To be the best football player, to be auctioned off like a slave, but we call it trading day or draft day. Having all these people have access to you, and you up there publicly, and people are just choosing who they gonna buy, who they gonna sell, who they gonna trade. It don't look like the slave trade all over again to y'all? Nobody in the world is schizophrenic. Nobody in the world is demonic. Everybody just has a different perspective. And when we finally learn that everybody has a different perspective, but having multiple perspectives outside is controversial and detrimental to capitalism and imperialism. And that's the only reason why people who do have different perspectives are silenced or forced to go along with the regular narrative in order to make money. Then we'll understand a lot of things about the world. So on this journey to becoming a starseed, you have to decide whether or not you're going to make yourself abide by the rules, or you're going to let somebody force you to abide by the rules. At least if you make yourself abide by the rules, you can kind of pick and choose which group you want to assimilate with. But when you're forced to abide by the rules, trust me, it don't feel good. But on this portion of the starseed journey, it's a very important choice to make: the forcible change or the selective change. The one where you're held down with your face on the ground like your name is George Floyd and you can't breathe, or the one where you say, you know what, I'll be a good girl, and you sit like this and you have a tear running down the side of your eye on the inside instead. But it's your choice, and there's nothing wrong with the choice you make, because either way, based on people's unwillingness to stand up for themselves in today's society, even though back in the day when we was younger, we had people who were civil rights activists who literally gave up their lives and sat in jail and did everything else just to make sure we could get to this point where we could even speak on the internet, vote, drive cars, have our own bank accounts. We still got people who are too afraid to stand up for children and women not being raped. For us to not send hundreds of millions of dollars to other countries and end our own homelessness and our own hunger. Yeah, we watch, and they do it to make us angry, to make us more susceptible to lower frequencies. Because when they cured homelessness during COVID, when everybody had a place to stay and everybody was fed, there was no crime, but business kind of started to decline because everybody was like, oh, we could just go ahead and focus on ourselves. People start growing their own food. People start minding their business. That's where a lot of the people who have gardens right now, they started their gardens back then. George Floyd is dead. We talking about nothing bad. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to block you from my channel for good. Like, oh God, I don't ever want to see you on my channel again. I'm sorry, because somebody dying is not, what? Oh my God. Now I see why you got a bunch of schizophrenic friends. Nah, what happened to George Floyd wasn't bad. They just suffocated him because they had different perspectives. A white cop, an Asian cop, and a Hispanic cop strangled and suffocated a black man in the middle of the damn town in front of children. And that wasn't bad. And y'all called me a schizophrenic. All right. I just want y'all to think about that. Y'all calling me a schizophrenic. And y'all got somebody telling me that a man being murdered in front of children and everybody else is not a bad thing. Divinity and twin flame community, intuition, flying monkey, voodoo, thoughts, family, twin flame, concern, high honor, mentally, emotionally unstable. Self-love, entity attachment, north node, unexpected money. Obsession. Expectation. Endings to a thief because the ancestor said so. What's up, Zohib? Zohype? 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 I don't know how to say that right. Pleasant to have you here. Some death magic was done to you for sure. You're unbothered while someone else is receiving their karma. Something to do with a relationship. Someone's going through a lot of emotional pain. Yep, there's some unexpected money coming in, either from or for a mature woman. This is the pathway. I'm not sleepy. I do feel the psychic attack coming in my third eye, but I'm not sleepy per se. I do know someone is third eyeing me though. Or if not me, my son. They're third eyeing my son, which is terrible because he's asleep. Because you're a sweetheart, right? It's 8:31. Do yourself a solid and cleanse out your chakras. It's good to go buy some water, go exercise. And when you exercise, don't exercise in the neighborhood that you live in, because you'll be continuously always watched and, you know, projected on by people who you're comfortable around, who have been watching you in your apartment for however long that you've been living there. It's always good to go to like the free gym up the street in your community and get, you know, connected to other energies outside of your home, because sometimes getting outside of your home's frequency, you'll realize that you're actually dealing with something in the home that's bothering you. It's not what you think it is. Destruction and poverty is coming somebody's way. Maybe for someone who was a starseed, or because they did something to a starseed, maybe pertaining to that karma. Let's see. Destruction and poverty for a starseed or from a starseed. So, someone's manifesting destruction and poverty for a starseed. Someone is trying to make sure that happens for a starseed. That's crazy. You do know that you're going to get in trouble for that, right? So you are an early bird, right? I am an early bird. I usually will wake up at 4:30. I don't know what's been going on as of lately. Like, hold on. What's that? We got conflict at the bottom of the deck. Ew. Something about a third party stitch. So there might be a family that's trying to like have you laced up inside of their sexual relationship. Deny it. Just go to their Merkaba and just twist it off of you. You don't have to be a part of anybody's three-way relationship or anybody else's menage a trois. If that's not your thing, you can literally just say no. And they have to respect that. If they don't, then of course, you know, spiritual law will take place and they will be handled. Because you don't have to be a part of anybody's anything that you don't want to be a part of, you know? That's not really your calling or your necessary aspect. Why did I put you in timeout? You probably said something that was distracting or something that was very inappropriate for what I was talking about, you know? It probably was really off topic. Real love is supposed to be coming in for you at this time. There's a message. What's the message? Somebody's being abandoned or somebody's abandoning something. Ice Queen. There's some evil eye. Yeah, look, there's some evil eye going on right now, so be mindful. Cover yourself. Cover your children. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? I'm raising a child, and it seems like my village is trying to kill my child. But I could be wrong. Or just humble him to some degree. And it's like, he's not doing nothing wrong. Someone's in concern, a priest, regarding some kind of abundance. Some nice guy is a divine masculine. Did I burp? Oh, sorry. I think I said excuse me. If I didn't, excuse me. Cool, whatever. I had no problem repeating myself. Also, because they probably tried to do a love spell on you or some sort. A love spell was done by a supposed healer. Now that's wrong. Well, that changed a lot right there. That feels much better. So supposedly somebody who was sent to heal you actually did a love spell on you instead? That's not right. So, with you. Someone is in the brink or on the brink of transitioning up out of here, and they're trying to attach to other people. Somebody involved in a legal system or a legal situation. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Wow. It's got the back of my neck itching. Are you mixed race? Yep, some kind of abuse was going on. I'm not overthinking. It's just when you can sense stuff spiritually, a lot of us spiritualists, we have to pause and like look at it like, hold on, what's that? And what's that? Because that and that ain't supposed to be that. Okay. Excuse me. I had to let that go right quick because that was too much. I'm sorry. It's making the back of my neck burn. I don't like that. Someone's saying hello from the other side. What do you mean what happened to my hair? It's just in a bun. I just tied it up. I didn't feel like wearing it down. My roots are growing in black. I just dyed my hair like less than a month ago, but it's already grown back. Yeah, someone's in emotional pain because a rich guy wants to make a commitment to you, and they keep doing everything in their power to block it. So they're trying to block out the probability of somebody who really likes you and wants to take care of you from being with you. I don't know who they are, but someone is going above and beyond. You start picking up on what's what. It's like, oh, okay. Someone tried to block you, or you block somebody. Let's take them in order they fell down. Because you're in your north, you're usually in your north node, but they want you in your south node. They're trying to block you to put you in your north, or to put you in your south node. You're usually blue and gold. They want you to be red and black. This Jezebel karmic feminine, this weird witch, freaky, nasty hoe bitch that don't got no couth, wants you to get up out of your heaven head and go on down and be looking down at everything but what you're supposed to be looking at. And I'm trying to tell Shawty, I'm like, there's been a binding spell. Unless you know how to remove it, stop touching stuff till I fix it. Excuse me. Excuse me. We're trying to help people. Like, they put your on my forehead and they put my on your forehead. They switched us. They binded us, but like a 69. So now you're gonna finally be single, sexy, and successful because you removed the blockage, which had you upside down. And someone is going to be jealous and envious of the fact that you got your divinity back because you saw what the attack was. The opposition will be getting their asses whooped finally. You're protected. The community finally realizes that you're Earth Angel and not what they thought you were, because you're really trying to fix stuff and point out that somebody had an entity attachment. All over money. And they wanted to put an entity attachment on an Ice Queen who's finally having an awakening and was big on their faith. A divine feminine even. Whose soulmate is coming very soon. Oh, I love that for you. And their family is going to expand. This bondage that they were in is ending, and it's got somebody having animosity. Because their divination always helps them get through whatever they get put in. And this person can be trusted. A child can be trusted. Child that belongs to this Ice King. Then there's this bliss, which is going to bring you an achievement and bring you close to your twin flame. And the veil will be exposed, of course, after your work and labor. And these false documents that was put out about you will leave somebody else with a health concern because you're continuing to ascend. Surprise, you're not a hater and you're moving on. And you're getting a new love offer from somebody who's high honor, who's going to bring you in a house, and they're a boss. And whoever had tried to imprison you with manipulation, of course, use your intuition about which one it really is. They're the flying monkey over you, and they're all wrapped up in lust, and they have an expectation to keep you in this confusion and illusion. As you try to change your job, they've been obsessed with your change ever since. They have nothing but evil thoughts about you. They send you evil eye because they know you're going to be a rising star because of your gifts. They send voodoo your way to a high priestess. But your occupation keeps you from being mentally unstable. The rituals, the false narratives, all of that's coming to an end. You're going to travel. People are now with you. You're a rich girl. This karmic boy is going to finally have to deal with the courthouse after all this time. It's got him in conflict. His chakras are all going to, your chakras are going to be clean and clear finally in the distant future, because you're finally going to find a mature person that's going to help you love yourself. So as soon as you do all that, baby girl, you'll be fine. It's just the detachment part. But yeah, that's what happened. It was a love spell done. And there was a binding done. I felt it yesterday. I'm like, why I feel like somebody cootie cat on my forehead? It's like they took the two bodies and flipped them opposite and then binded them together so that they would know. So whoever was in the north node will be in that south node, and vice versa. People do some really baneful magic out here in these streets, y'all. Y'all gotta be careful. Be protected. Stay grounded, okay? I'll come back later for a regular reading, but I'm about to go clean the rest of this work off of me because there's a lot of spiritual work that's been done on somebody. So yeah, stay up and stop doing bad stuff. If your work doesn't have anything to do with, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some women who are supposed to bring karma to people, and there's some women who are meant to bring the divinity to people. That's why we have the dark divine feminine, and we have the light divine feminine. Okay. Okay. Some people are meant to be angels and be light. Some women are meant to be dark. If you are a dark lady and you meant to be dark, do your darkness, but make sure you do it to the right people. You don't do it to the angel ladies, because at the end of the day, all my ladies who independent, throw your hands up at me. And even if you have a man, all the mamas that profit dollars, throw your hands up at me. Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how your angels get down like that. All right, let the angels get down and get jiggy and get busy, but don't be throwing magic at the wrong people, because you already know. Karma's a bitch. You got to know who people are. You got to know their spiritual backing. You got to know their spiritual ranking. You got to know which dimensions they have access to before you start throwing magic at people. If you practice magic, you got to know which realms these people have access to. Because if they have access to realms that you don't have access to, they just going to go up to their realm and then just be from their realm, just be looking down at you like, you idiot. You do know I can see what you're trying to do to me, right? Like, be looking right down at the person like, I can see you. So be careful, be mindful who you throw magic at, because some people, even though they seem like they're doing bad, could be doing good, and vice versa. Yin yang sign, baby. All right, y'all. Remember, here on this platform, you are heard, seen, and loved. Remember, always have peace, love, and hair grease and everything between, because these are your tools in your body to help you manifest your dreams. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. Shout out to the tattoo. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. It's one of my favorites. But anywho, we up out of here. Peace.